quick moment here to settle in, get everything set up on the stream. All right, cool. Give me 1 minute here. Gonna clean my glasses. Got a lot of juicy bits that I want to cover, so just give me a quick moment here. All right, let's get this party started. What's up, everyone? Klaus, Family, Hobbies, and Cards. Welcome. And we got Jack in. Hello, Jack. Glad you are chiming in, sir. But yep, Klaus, Family, Hobbies, and Cards. We are doing the second all things stellar today. How is everyone doing? How are you enjoying your Thursday? Mine so far has been pretty good. That first live stream was awesome. We had a lot of good comments, a lot of good conversation. If you're just joining us now, please do me a favor. Hit us up in the chat box. Let us know who's here. I've got my monitor right in front of me, my main display monitor. I've got a secondary monitor up here, which monitors other stuff. And I have a chat monitor right here. So if you see me keep looking off this way, it's because I'm keeping up with the chats while having full screen immersion for me. All right, so let's get into this and let's start. Doggies, you gotta be quiet, sweetie. Let's start talking some stellar Lumens news. So the first thing that we're gonna catch everyone up on right now is the Grayscale Trust. And we got a good afternoon from Jose Romero. Hello. Volume is a bit low. All right, give me a second here, Jack. Let me know, is this a little bit better? Do I have to talk into the mic a little bit more, or do I have to get even a little bit deeper with my settings? Let me know. I can always crank it up just a little bit more. All right, what do you think of that sound-wise? All right, yes, we are talking stellar lumens, Jose. We are just doing a quick sound check here. Jack is telling us that the volume is a little bit low. My feedback looks pretty good, man. Let me know how it is on your end. But yep, let's get into it. And the first thing is this: Grayscale takes Stellar XLM top tier to the OTC desk as analysts expect price to explode. All right, so we talked about this one earlier, right? What's interesting about this is the Grayscale Trust, and I've got it right up here on the screen. The symbol is GXLM, okay? The symbol is GXLM, and we have been watching this all day long. We watched it on the live stream. We been paying attention to it. I mean, like, gosh, like literally all day long. Even yesterday, I was looking at it too while I was setting some of this stuff up. You have seen lots of volatility regarding this trust. Price highs as high as 95 and now 46, 45, 40. So lots of volatility regarding the Grayscale Trust. Now, I don't want you to get worried about the price of the trust. What I want you to think more about is the volume behind it, okay? What is happening with this Grayscale Trust? How many more people are going to be getting involved with it being right, an ETF, okay? So that's what I want you to think about with this Grayscale Trust. Let's give it a few weeks, right, to see what happens price-wise, stabilize a little bit, get through some of this volatility, and then I think we're going to have some better analytics that we can tie to it. Jose Romero says, chimes in, so how many Stellar Lumens should I buy? All right, Jose, I am going to give you my input here, and I'm going to tell you how I have been tackling Stellar Lumens. And again, this is an investment advice. This is just how I've been doing it, and it's been working really, really well. All right. I have a price target of anything under 30 cents, okay? So you're going to see this line right here, okay? I buy everything under that 30 cents, okay? Every week, I have an allotment of money that I put aside for different things, right? Whether they're equities, hard commodities, electronically traded commodities, crypto, kind of have my own little internal, right, 401k system that I got going on where I diversify. But every week I have a set amount of money that I put away for crypto, okay? So as you can see, during these time periods right here, right, from June 19th to early August, I was buying Stellar Lumens left and right because it was sub 30. I was just hitting it over and over and over and over again, okay? Now, during the times that it went above it, okay, so right here, okay, on August 8th and 9th when it went above 30 cents, during these several weeks here, I did not buy any Stellar Lumens whatsoever. But I kept taking that money every week and just adding it to this big bubble so that once it dipped down again over here, I bought yet another large chunk at sub 30 cents. So you're kind of wondering, where did I get the 30-cent price target? Well, the 30-cent buy price target for me has been based on historical data and for me being able to hold on to this for time, okay? My investment window, okay, and this is different for everyone. My investment window is several years out, all right? I don't need the money right now. I'm not worried about the investment right now. I'm looking at this and holding this for a couple years minimum. Now, hey, if something happens before now and then and this thing skyrockets, hey, taking profits, there ain't nothing wrong with that. But my buy target, yes, is set to sub 30. So there was a huge chunk of time, with the exception of flash crashes. And remember, that's why you need to have these preset orders in. So when the flash crashes happen, you could buy and make quick profits on the rebound. So yes, during a large chunk of time here while the crypto was up, I was not buying at these higher levels. Again, I've always kept my target at sub 30. Now in the future, if we see a newer floor created, okay, because we've seen recently, the floor recently, and I'm talking recent history, right? Last couple months, the floor has been touching 19, 20 cents. So for me, there's still that opportunity between the 19, 20 cent and the 30, buy target that I have. I'm not going to raise that 30-cent buy target to 35, 40 until a much more established, stronger floor support is there. It's just not worth it for me. So if you're worried about getting in and how much time you have, you still have time, in my opinion. Yes, the pressure cooker is building. You can feel the tension out there. I mean, with these ETFs firing up and the news articles, and now the analysts are coming around, you feel it, but there's still opportunities out there to buy. All right, let's see. So if you, Jose chimes in, so if you are on a budget purchase, Stellar Lumens or XRP or VeChain. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up, all right, Jose, and I'll tackle this one specifically for you. Let's do this. Let's put this in, and let's put in XRP. All right, so let's go to XRP. We don't want the liquid index. Oh, no, we want this one. Okay, so now let's do this. And yep, and this is year to date, okay? So for Jose's question, which one would I rather do? I'll tell you specifically why. All right, so what I got up on the screen here is a comparison between blue, which is Stellar Lumens XLM, and green, which is Ripple XRP, okay? So if you would have invested at January 1st of this year, your Lumens investment would be up this 183%, okay? Your Ripple investment would be up 364%. All right, so yes, you would have made more money had you invested at Ripple at the beginning of the year versus XLM. But we're talking about what do you do investing from now, right? Because we want to know what are our gains possible from right now. Yes, we do have investments that we've done over time. But for the new investors, right, and for our new purchases, because remember, some of us here, we might put a bigger part into XLM as the projects go on and develop, right? Some of us are waiting, right? We're waiting for SEC regulation. We're waiting for more ETFs. We're waiting for maybe a little bit different risk exposure than direct token. So kind of keep that in mind right here. But what I'm thinking of now is what's left. If Ripple's already gone up this 364% in the last 10 months and Stellar's 183, there's more of a double the upside for Stellar catching up to that. Now, that's just price speaking. That's not mechanics. That's not volume driven. That's just price sentiment. And what happens is that when people look at buying things, whether they're equities, commodities, crypto, and so forth, let's take Bitcoin. People get into Bitcoin, and they got into Bitcoin at 40,000, and they said, you know what? If Bitcoin goes to 80, I'll double my money. Bitcoin goes to 60, I'll make 50% of my investment. Hey, that's pretty good returns, right? But once Bitcoin gets to 60, for you to make that 50% return, that's got to get to 90,000. That is a big, big number and a very steep hill to climb. So some of those investors that say, you know what, no, I want an easier pathway to 50% gains. Bitcoin, there's just a lot of downside risk on that 60,000. Let me rotate to a more affordable asset, all right? So maybe they rotate to like Ethereum, right? So they go to Ethereum and they're like, okay, you know, it's at 3,000 something. If it doubles to 6, it's kind of possible. It's not too crazy, but it could happen. All right. But then there's going to be Ethereum buyers that are going to be like, you know what? It's too risky at this 34, 35, 36. I can't. So then they rotate to the next affordable equity, crypto and so forth. And again, sooner or later, what happens is those investors, especially on an institutional level, will look for the bargains. XLM will be a bargain because if you compare it to Ripple, right, it half of what the performance was for the year. And there are so many more projects, okay, that are brewing through the Stellar subsystem than there is on the Ripple system. So I want you to look at it that way, that again, it depends on how long you're going to hold and where the potential gains are. Remember, as time goes on, investors, especially institutional, go from value to value to value, and they get to lower and lower, right? That's why when you look at like the Russell 2000, people always talk about when the Russell 2000 starts rolling, that's how you know the economy is better, because that means money has now rotated into those smaller cap stocks. All right, so Jose chiming in again, saying, so XRP and XLM, very similar. All right, so for those of you that are watching, right, and if you have a question, please feel free, throw it in the chat. Like I said, I've got monitors here, here, and up here, so I can monitor everything that's going on, as well as provide you guys with a fun background. I got a little bit of color in the background. No, that is not green screen. This back here, this is not green screen. This is LED lighting effects that I've been working on, and I love it. I totally dig in the color. But let's go into this. Let's go into XLM, XRP, and what are the differences, okay? XRP, big institution to big institution. It's the easiest way to put that one, okay? XLM, it's a little bit different. And the reason it's a little bit different is because XLM is meant more for peer-to-peer remittances, okay? And so what are peer-to-peer remittances? And if you caught this on the other stream, sorry, I'm just reading the message out there. All right, what I got up on here right now is the cash and non-cash chart, right? These are transactions where blue is cash, orange is non-cash. So you can see in these cash-based societies where the blue section is much larger than the orange, they are much more prone, right, to use cash for their transactions. These are the markets that XLM is going after, okay? This is the market, right, where there is so much cash transaction because these cash-based societies are very, very underserved, very underbanked, very undervalued. There's a lot of opportunities that they miss out on. So where XLM comes into play is in the remittance market and peer-to-peer transactions, meaning me sending money to you, right? So instead of PayPal, instead of Western Union, instead of MoneyGram, using Stellar as our peer-to-peer exchange network rather than those traditional methods, okay? So how is this a big deal? Well, the reason this is a big deal is because the amount of money that is sent via remittances, okay? And this is some scary stuff right here. So India sends $83 billion a year worth of remittances. And remittances, for those that don't know, is money that people make outside of their native country that they send back home for family and so forth, okay? So it's money they're earning outside of their country that they send back in. So for instance, $83 billion was sent back into India, all right? So that remittance fee, this is where XLM goes after. It goes after these big chunks of peer-to-peer remittances. All right, so we got a couple people chiming in here. We got Octavio. It says, Jose, just continue doing the dollar cost investment into all three. Remember, he can't tell what to buy because I'm a content creator. Yes, and I can. I have to be very cautious again, and I always have to say that this is for educational purposes only. I try to provide you with the information, tell you how I do it on a personal end, and then you get to run with that information and decide how that fits into your strategy. So Octavio, yes, that is why I always, and I actually hate doing price prediction videos because you're just shooting into the wind, man, right? I mean, Elon Musk at any moment could come out, tweet something about XLM, it'd be at 10, 20 bucks, right? It's nuts, okay? So thank you for pointing that out. What's a good amount of XLM coins? The amount is based upon your risk, okay? Crypto, super risky. You invest in gold, boring as crap, all right? Balance between the two, right, kind of gives you a little bit of risk, a little bit of boringness. It's all about what your appetite is, okay? You need to do three things when you invest, and these are my three things that I look at. How much money can I invest? How long can I be without that money, right? What's my window? And what gains am I looking for? When I have those three items, that lets me know the window that I'm investing in, how much I'm willing to put into it, and what I want to get out of it. So in terms of you know, what is a good amount of XLM? All right, my big holdings for me personally, my huge holdings, all right, proportionately in portfolio are heavy into commodity based equities. I am huge in commodity equities. I'm also big into utility equities because I love the dividends. I got to be honest with you. Even on the downturns, I'm getting dividends, happy about that, and I just keep reinvesting the dividends. But anyways, okay, so the boringness that I have with the commodities, and I do also have hard commodities too, the boringness that I have with those commodities, I'm offsetting with XLM. Why? Because it's risky. Because there's chances to make 30-40% gains in a day, loss in a day. There's a chance it could 5x in one day. We saw what happened in February, March, April, May. I mean, the price went through the roof. So the amount of coins, it's based upon what is your risk factor, how much are you willing, and how long you're willing to do it for. All right, and let's see, we got Octavio. The whales are waiting for something to bring the XLM price through the roof. I wonder if they're waiting. Yeah, okay. Octavio, yes, we broke that on the live stream on Saturday when the SEC did that tweet. The other thing I wanted to bring up, and I got a whole bunch of articles in here, so just give me a quick second here. I'm going to find the one I'm looking for. Give me a second. Yep, it's this one, okay? Ripple and XRP holders failed to convince judge. Yep, SEC granted 2-month extension. So now the SEC, right? A 2-month extension for the Ripple case. So you already know now, for 2 more months, that is going to suppress the price. Big institutional investors will stay away from anything that has lawsuit near it, right? They do not want to take those risks. A lot of people stay away from it. In fact, in the United States, when you have a lawsuit against you, not allowed to buy real estate, there's a whole bunch of things you're not allowed to do. So you kind of see this legal tie-in with these lawsuits, okay? This 2-month extension right here does several things. A, it buys the government time. Yep, time to start writing and developing crypto clarity trading SEC-based rules. The other thing it does is it gives more institutions to get in on the buying before the price takes off. That's why I called the previous video the pressure cooker, because we're starting to see all of these things build up where the government is going to have to start talking about regulation, going to have to start putting regulation into effect because of things like this, right? Because the Ripple thing, they only can delay this for so long. And on top of it too, let's look at this. Grayscale, over the counter, Bitcoin, SEC with the Bitcoin futures ETF. There's a lot of pressure right now on the SEC to get this regulation thing going. And this right here tells me that they're buying themselves time to figure all this out. There is so much, a wave of energy in crypto right now that I honestly think they thought this would have been suppressed by now. And they can't. This is a big bubble of enjoyment. Yes, Ripple. Yeah, not a... Ripple's got its place, all right? I'm just Stellar. I believe in it because I do. I believe in peer-to-peer. There's something about helping people that live off of a remittance-based system that more money goes to the end user that I totally believe in. So that's kind of where I kind of see it. So anyone new that has just joined in, if you are afraid that you missed out at the beginning of the stream, don't worry. I will have this live stream in the playlist so that if you missed the beginning and catch any of the juicy bits, you will be able to go back and watch that. The other thing I want to do too, for anyone that is just jumping in now, please hop on in, hit us up in the chat box, let us know who's here, say hello, and ask your question if you got them, or make your comment if you got them. So a little bit of housekeeping though while I got you guys here. If you could really quick, hop onto the community tab of the page, take a look at it, really starting to get active with this page. We're starting to build up some steam. The subs are growing, the views are growing, the content's growing. The Stellar Lumens community itself is growing, which is great to see. But hop on over the community page if you don't mind. Look at a few of the posts. If you see Pimpin' Peter Griffin, all right, I'm just throwing it out there. If you see Pimpin' Peter Griffin, that is a logo for the YouTube Creator Content live stream, okay? If you are a content creator, even if big, small, doesn't matter, or if you want to be a content creator, or if you want to know about the background, kind of the behind the scenes of all this stuff, right? The background of YouTube, what happens and all that. This is the live stream for you, the creator content live stream. So I've got one coming up on Saturday. Look for it if you want to join in. It was really cool. The last one was a lot of fun. But the main reason why I got you guys here is this, right? It was a post I made a week ago. hanging outside, wondering how often should I post videos. So if you could, if you're watching this, please stop on over to the community tab, vote on that, let me know, and also in the comments section, throw down some constructive criticism. I totally love to hear what I can improve on so I can bring a better presentation to you. So let's go back now and let's start talking about some of the other big stellar news, okay? And so what I wanted to get back to was this remittance-based thing right here, and this is where the opportunities for stellar lie, okay? On average, the fees that people are paying in remittances are 10%, okay? So for instance, India sending 83 billion in remittances, 10%, right? $8.3 billion are paid to companies like MoneyGram, Western Union, and other traditional brick and mortar transfer facilities, all right? What's interesting about that, and why I think this is big with Stellar Lumens XLM, is because the bond with MoneyGram it's a two-way street here, all right, with the synergy. And here's what I mean with that, all right? And this is, I've done a lot of looking into this, a lot of how this synergy can work. Yeah, I probably should buy the NFT with Peter Griffin, and then, and then I could pawn it off and sell it off. No, I'd probably license it out so you guys could use it too, but I do love pimping Peter Griffin. But so MoneyGram here, okay? The big blue bar is their revenue, and as you can see, over the last 4 years, their revenue has steadily gone down, okay? So revenue at 1.6 billion, 2017, 2020, 1.2 billion. So they've lost 25% of their revenue in 4 years. I want you to think about that. They've lost 25% of their revenue in 4 years. But wait a minute. Record high remittances sent globally in 2018. So there was a record high of usage, but MoneyGram wasn't part of it. Okay, so this is where Stellar comes into place here. You could even see their margins, okay, and you're going to see us go like, oh, well, Klaus, the margin's going up. No, they're still negative margin, guys. They're still at a net income loss of $8 million for the fiscal year. That sucks. So what happens here and how this bond with MoneyGram and Stellar can work out, pretty interesting, okay? A lot of people are comfortable with MoneyGram, Western Union in the remittance world, right? They're very familiar with the brick and mortar facilities. They're not too familiar with crypto, okay? MoneyGram loses out because they have to pay fees to the banks that they do the ACH transfers through, all right? So MoneyGram has a huge expense, all right? And it's their brick and mortar facilities, but it's the expense of actually transferring the money. That's why they charge the 10% fees, because they have to cover their fees as well. What's interesting about that is with XLM, we know the transfer fees are less than a penny, way less than a penny. So I could easily see MoneyGram through their brick and mortar institutions, where each one would have their own individual wallet, okay? They would have their own wallet at each location. You would then go to that location, give them cash. They would then use their Stellar wallet, right? And then would send it to the location that the recipient was at. Then they could open it through that Stellar wallet, so forth and so forth. Transfer fees would be way less, and it would be near instantaneous. As we know, Stellar transactions, right? 4 to 5 seconds. All right, so we got Fahim Naeem. Can you explain liquidity, please? Dude, yes. Okay, I will explain liquidity for you, all right? And we're going to do this. You know what? Let's do it. Yeah, okay. Let's do it with this trust, okay? All right, and let's just talk with liquidity. I want you to think of, you want to buy something, right? You want to buy lumens, all right? And let's say you want to buy lumens and you want to buy a bunch of them and you got money in your pocket, you're ready right now. What happens if no one's ready to sell them though, right? I mean, what if you as a buyer and you and your friends and all of us buyers, there's so many of us buyers, but there's no sellers, okay? Two things happen. Number one, the price goes through the roof because the sellers are like, well, hey dude, if you want to buy, I'm going to jack up the price. So then you sit here and you're like, well, okay, do I raise my price and so forth, okay? The other issue is there could just be a functionality of not enough liquid, right? Not enough tokens to be traded to meet the demand, which can artificially increase prices of tokens, commodities, and equities, okay? So what liquidity is, it's the availability of what's out there to be bought and sold, okay? To match demands, okay? Automated market makers do that. It starts matching demand so that when you put an order in, it can be executed quicker and at a closer to target price for what you have listed, okay? An increase of liquidity means that trading can happen more often at favorable prices with a narrower bid-ask spread, okay? and I'm just talking in equities form, a narrower bid-ask spread, okay? If there is a problem with liquidity where too much is holding on one side, too much is holding on the other side, that bid-ask spread starts pulling apart like this. And it's very hard to make good money when that bid-ask spread is so far apart, because that means for you to jump in, usually someone has to jump from one side to the other and nibble and pull pieces apart. So that's a good way to explain liquidity. The available amount of whatever it is there to purchase through purchase and sell through the trading mechanism. Are there enough buyers to match the sellers? Are there enough sellers to match the buyers? Octavio chimes in. I'm surprised Western Union is not making any noise after the partnership of MoneyGram and Stellar Lumens. Octavio, you must be like reading my mind or something, because the reality is I'm thinking exactly that. Why would MoneyGram, right? Because I mean, you look at their decrease in revenue. What? Their decrease in revenue? Yeah, I mean, look at that top line base and revenue. So their top line is shrinking in a growing market. So obviously, Western Union has a huge problem, right, with their expense structure as well as their revenue structure. Their revenue structure is declining in a growing market. That's really bad. So, like, if I was going to short something, it would be MoneyGram. I'm not saying that you should do that, but if I was going to do something, I would have shorted MoneyGram a little bit ago, kind of like right when the Stellar Lumens news broke, because as we've seen, that pattern happens often, right? MoneyGram, Stellar Lumens, anything in the remittance industry, when good news happens, it spikes. It can never hold the price and it falls. So, I mean, I'm not saying that it was a good idea to short MoneyGram, but if you shorted it around the time, yeah, it was interesting. So, but yeah, that is the right way to put it. So, Octavio, yes, you are correct, sir. I don't understand why MoneyGram is not utilizing this more. Now, think about this, right? MoneyGram still has to operate brick and mortars, and here's what scares me. This is the only thing that scares you with the MoneyGram and Stellar Lumens thing, okay? Yes, Stellar can come in and help them with the fees that MoneyGram spends, through their banking system, right, the ACH system, versus now using blockchain crypto, okay? So Stellar can increase that. Stellar can increase frequency transaction, right? I mean, it'd be if people know they're spending less, right? So instead of waiting to send, say, 400 to their family back home, maybe they're like, you know what? I'll just spend the fees. It's not going to kill me anymore. I'll just send 100 every week, okay? So there's some incremental gains that can be said by there too. But if MoneyGram doesn't utilize this, and if their business, and I don't know enough about MoneyGram as a whole, but if their business structure is garbage, right? If their costs they just can't keep under control, their OPEX they can't keep under control, then what's that bond with Stellar going to be like, right? I mean, then what Stellar would be bonded with a piece of crap company. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at for here. I'm looking at exactly what is MoneyGram going to do with this. Are they going to use this as publicity, or are they going to use this as a cost savings mechanism? Anyone that has worked for a large company understands down cycle cost cutting, and how once you start in that down cycle cost cutting pattern, right, where you cut costs to save money, but then you need to save more money, so you cut more costs. Before you know it, you start pulling away from your resources and your ability to improve your business. Stellar has to get in here with MoneyGram, and they have to do this quick, because they have to right this ship that has lost 25% of top line revenue over the last 4 years. So for me as an investor, that was the only negativity, or I'm sorry, the only negative thing, downside thing I saw with the MoneyGram deal, or sorry, with the MoneyGram partnership. Let's see, have you had a chance to look and to turning smart contracts, testing on Stellar, smart NFTs, pretty cool. Could MoneyGram and others benefit from smart contract? Yes, MoneyGram could definitely benefit from smart contract. I am looking into NFTs. Yes, I kind of have a business idea that I'm kicking around. And yes, if I were to launch NFTs and this would be part of the idea, I would definitely choose to do it with Stellar. They were only charging $1.50 minting fees for their NFTs, and I also think it would be a good idea, like if I do go down this path, and it's something I'm really kicking around. So this is something, if you guys want to know like what kind of goes on in the background, that's live stream, right? That's creator content live stream, Pimpin' Peter Griffin. That's where I'll go into more in depth about stuff like this. But yeah, NFTs through Stellar, it would be a good idea to do that, because the other thing too is Stellar can help you out. there's a lot of good press regarding Stellar. So if you were to mint NFTs on Stellar, there's a way you could get some publicity through it too. So there are some mechanisms with NFTs. So yes, I have and am actively considering NFTs on Stellar. So just a thought out there, okay? I'll go into detail if you ask on the Creator Content live stream. But otherwise, no, I have not done any of the smart contract testing on Stellar. I'm actually trying to think of a way that I can get involved with something along those lines, but to be honest with you, it would have to be something that also fits the channel as well. I didn't want to go too much down on that rabbit hole. But getting back into MoneyGram, all right? Yes, it is important that through some active cost-cutting measures, they were able to help out with their profit margin. But again, if your top-line sales are constantly shrinking in a market that's growing, you have a bigger business fundamental issue than just cutting costs. You're not getting the people in the door. So then you ask yourself, how much money is there out there to grab, right? How much money can you grab from remittances around the world? You guys want to be freaked out when you see these numbers? All right, cool. Check this out. Bank estimates that officially recorded annual remittances, right? This is for low and middle income countries, all right? Reached a record $529 billion in 2018. So, low and middle income countries in 2018 alone sent $529 billion in remittances. Now, let's go to high income countries, right? Because we got them too. High income countries reached $689 billion. Okay, so let's add the total of high and low and middle income countries for remittances. You are talking about what, almost like 1.2, 1.3 trillion dollars in 2018. 1.3 trillion dollars in 2018, and 10% of that money is paid in fees to MoneyGrams and Western Union. So you can see that big bubble of $120 billion. Yes, $120 billion is out there for the taking for the remittance industry. And Stellar is the clear leader in peer-to-peer remittances, okay? So this amount right here, right, is 529, 689, 10% of the fees are paid, $120 billion, okay? And if we go back to good old MoneyGram here, remember I said 120 billion. Of that total remittance pool, they have less than 1% market share. So yes, there are some definite opportunities that with some proper synergy, Stellar, Lumens XLM, and MoneyGram could develop into a really, really juicy, profitable relationship. All right, and again, if you are new, if you're just hopping in right now, please comment in the chat. Let us know you're here. Let me know how you're doing today too, right? I mean, how's everyone's Thursday going? I'm having a blast. Second live stream today. First one was really cool. And hey, did anyone out there catch the commercial for this live stream? Did you see the YouTube short and the actual YouTube video for the commercial? Pretty legit. I rolled it out real late last night. I think I got it done like 1:30 in the morning. I wanted to get it out there for the night owls and to make sure that you guys had just a little spicy taste to get you into this stuff here. So yes, please comment in the chat. Let me know you're here. Thank you to the people that are supporting us. And again, hop over to the community tab, right? Active community, we're all active here. Hop over to the community tab and vote. How often should I post videos? Or are you gonna tell me, dude, you gotta work on the quality because your quality sucks? And that's okay. You are welcome to tell me that. I can handle it. No worries whatsoever. So we got Jock chiming in. A good idea will be to have a little ticker of the XLM price. Oh, Jock, you cheeky monkey, sir. You know what? I am going to add that as a note, and this is why I love you guys, the viewers, because all I got to do is ask you guys, and you have awesome ideas. So let me make a note here. You're right. To have the XLM ticker symbol up on the stream so that we could do that. Jack, that was awesome. Thank you so much. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to add this in my notes real quick here. So we want to do ticker XLM for the streams. All right, cool. XLM for the streams. All right, Jack, dude, you are awesome, man. Thank you so much for that. Oh, the commercial was cool. Last live, I missed it. I was getting some shut-eye. Dude, no. That's why I wanted to put them in the live stream playlist, okay? I wanted to put them in the live stream playlist. It's right here. You can't miss it, all right? Bunch of cool videos. The YouTube creator content one, ooh, that's really, really cool. Don't know if you know this, but I have been to Milwaukee plenty of times. I actually lived in Wisconsin for 3 years, all right? I lived in Wisconsin for 3 years. Delafield, Lake Geneva. If you're from Wisconsin and you can tell me what Delafield and Lake Geneva have in common, you will know why I lived in Wisconsin for 3 years. So, Alex, glad you are joining in here. Jock, dude, much love, man. I do appreciate that kind of info. Loving this kind of stuff. So let's also look, let's check back in with that grayscale trust, okay? The volatility on this grayscale trust has been nuts. The volume, whatever, okay? It's still too early. The volume is just kind of but the grayscale trust, I want to see what the floor is. I want to see what the near-term floor of this grayscale trust is. I'm super excited, okay? I don't know if this is going to be a one-to-one reflection of lumens or not, but I want to see what happens to this pricing and volume mechanism-wise. All right, Alex. Yes, they're lake towns. You're right, but there's something a little bit more specific about those lake towns. The hint I'll give you is what both towns had something, but Lake Geneva does not have that something anymore. And, you know, if you've ever been to Lake Geneva, I've had plenty of nights where I've ended up face down at the Abbey. So if you're from Lake Geneva in the area, you know that. We got Fahim checking in. Hi from Chicago. Fahim, where at in Chicago? My wife, Southside Bridgeport. I was western suburbs, Naperville, Lisle for most of my life. I actually lived in the Chicago area for the first 30 years of my life. Was actually just in Chicago for game 3 of the White Sox ALDS game, the one that they won. Thank God, the only game that they won we went to. So yes, shout out to Chicago peeps out there. We had a guy from Englewood on earlier who's joined us on the live streams. Really cool to see the Chicago support. So yes, again, if you are just chiming in, please say hello on the chat. We are talking Stellar Lumens XLM. We're also talking the Grayscale Trust, all right? One of the things that I am going to be doing actively on my own here, okay? And if it's something that people are interested in, I can always start doing some data on it and presenting it. We just need a little bit of time. I want to start comparing the Grayscale Trust, right? If you were to invest X in Grayscale Trust now versus Stellar Lumens, what would you make more from? Would you make more from the derivative or would you make more from the primary? All right. The other thing I want to look at too, and I'm going to start again building some resources here for everyone, is if I compare Grayscale, the trust, and I compare it to Lumens, the native, right? What do their volume charts look like? Do their volume charts look similar? Do their peaks and valleys look similar? Are their inflection points the same? Is there a delay? Is there a time delay? Okay. And what I mean by time delay is this, okay? So let's get rid of XRP. All right. And what we're going to do, though, is we're going to compare Stellar to Bitcoin. All right. And we're going to compare Stellar to Bitcoin, and we're going to do it over the last month. All right. So we're going to pretend that we all spent money. We bought Bitcoin and Stellar a month ago. Okay. Bitcoin's up 54%. Stellar's up 41%. All right. And this is what I want you to look at. Blue, by the way, is Stellar. Green is Bitcoin. As you can see, as Bitcoin flexes, right? Look at this down inflection point right here. It didn't happen to Stellar until the next day. All right, check this out. Up inflection point, you can see definitely nowhere near as strong. Same thing, right? So it follows it, but there is a delay. And there's also an amplification and de-amplification of this, right? You see Stellar doesn't go up as high, and it also it goes down further too. So there's much more of a spike here. But look at the separation between Bitcoin and XLM here. This gap right here, and this is what's had me watching, okay? Since October 15th, I've seen Bitcoin move more aggressively and Stellar move on the down end. I don't understand because they both tie in with each other. So that's why I think a lot of us here are thinking that they are holding down the price. All right, so we got Drab Reckon. What's up, everyone? Who's adding on this dip? Drab, my price targets are set at 30, man. I'm telling you it right now. In the live stream earlier, I talked about what my price targets were for buy. My entry price target for buying, and it's anything sub 30 right now. Right now on this dip, to be honest with you, in recent history, Drab, just to kind of throw it out there, let's just blow Bitcoin out real quick here. Let's go to the mountain. Even recently, as of say like 10 days ago, you were still able to pick up in the low 30s. So don't feel too much pressure to jump in. And again, this is just my opinion. You are welcome to do what you want. Just kind of keep an eye out to know that as few as a couple weeks ago, there have been some buying opportunities. But I am super glad that you were here, Drab, hanging out, spending time with us. Alex, did you figure it out yet? What Delafield and Lake Geneva both had. Lake Geneva lost its, but Delafield still has its. I hope I said that right. Okay, yeah, let me know if you can think about that. That's why I lived in Wisconsin for 3 years. So we got people checking in from Chicago. We have got Milwaukee. We actually had a gentleman from India. How cool was that? Yep, we are spreading the word of Stellar Lumens XLM out there to a huge community, and I am grateful to share the news with you. So if you are just hopping in, right, one of the things that we have covered, and I want to catch everyone up to speed because I see a bunch of people hopping off and hopping on. All right, it says, I don't know, Geneva lost the Playboy Club, but I can't think of anything else. I'm assuming it's a bar. I did remember driving up to Lake Geneva, passing the Playboy building up there. That's really funny. Military school. How about that? Military school. I went to military school in Lake Geneva, Northwestern Military Naval. They shut down and they merged with our rival school in Delafield, St. John's. So there you go. My 3 years of living in Wisconsin at a military school. Oh, rough years, man. Rough years. Okay, but this is, let's catch everyone up real quick right now. This is what we were talking about earlier, okay? So for everyone hopping on, let's get you caught up super fast here. Ripple and XRP holders failed to convince judge, all right? The SEC is granted 2-month extension on their discovery deadline, okay? The discovery deadline has been pushed from November 12th to January 14th. I could easily see this becoming a price suppression mechanism, all right? That we could see people and investors still staying away from Stellar Lumens. Now, granted, Stellar Lumens is not in the same boat at all, like with Ripple. And with what Ripple got in trouble with the SEC, Stellar can in no way, functionality-wise, get in trouble for the same thing. But since Stellar is a split of the XRP chain, people still, in an uneducated way, draw this association with the two, okay? So that's another reason why you see price suppression. So with this extension right here, this is telling me that my window, okay, and this is my own personal opinion, that my window to load up on goodies just got extended. I was just told, right, that now that extension is January 14th, which means we may have an even longer window to buy, but it also means we might have to be, I don't know, waiting a little bit more too, which might suck. So Alex, no, it was not a bar. It was military school. But like I said, I did end up face down at the Abbey plenty of times while I lived there in high school at military school. So, yep. Shout out to the local fans. Let me know where you're chiming in from. Let me know what kind of questions you got, feedback regarding the channel and so forth. But yes, this is the big thing that I'm looking at here, okay? Is the first one is this extension. So for me, I mark all the stuff on my calendar. I actually have, there's a whiteboard right behind me. I've got like a big, it's like my whiteboard. It's like my work whiteboard. So I've got this big whiteboard behind me and I write days on it, okay? So I've got this January 14th day up there to tell me, hey, around that time period, start looking at buying, start looking at some entry points, start looking at volatility, right, to see if I can make some moves. The other thing, okay, that I have marked down on my calendar is this right here, Protocol 18, which enables the creation of automated market makers on Stellar is coming. So for those that had questions about liquidity, automated market makers will help fill in some of those liquidity gaps. But the important part about this is that the vote, right? The vote for Protocol 18 is November 3rd, all right? So on my calendar, okay, on my trading calendar, sorry, I'm just trying to get the right sound here. On my trading calendar, I have the dates of November 13th listed, as well as the date of January 14th listed, okay? Again, I don't know what's going to happen on that. No one's going to happen around those days. But during protocol votes and during this deadline extension, if we get closer to this, you are going to see some volatility, which may give some of us more entry points, as well as maybe even an exit point for some short-term gains. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan for short-term. I'm not short-term doing this with Stellar. Stellar is one of my long plays. For shorts, I kind of pick a little bit more on equities because the volatility is a little bit more controllable. I'm also a little bit more experienced with equities, so I feel a little bit more comfortable on a lot of the leveraging mechanisms with equities versus crypto. All right. Whoa. Alex says, didn't know anything about those two schools. Grew up in Lincolnwood and went to Niles West. Alex, I don't know how old you are. If you're near my age, I had a friend that lived out there in Lincolnwood. Really, really nice area. Really nice area. I was Naperville. I was Naperville Lyle. So, I mean, you kind of know where the stomping grounds where I stomped on. But yes, that is what was there. There was a military school there. It was the oldest military school in the country at Lake Geneva, Northwestern Military and Naval Academy. And it was the school. Check this out. The school was known for the first ever tank was built by that school. How cool is that? And we had it in our main lobby. It almost looked like a fire cart. It was really goofy, but it was a tank. It was the first ever tank built, and it was built by the school or someone in the school, something like that. It was a long time ago, but really, really neat stuff. So yeah, we got 13 people hopping on with us now. What do you want to talk about Stellar Lumens wise, right? We tackled some pricing. We've tackled some news. We've talked about grayscale, all right? We haven't seen the floor yet in grayscale. Let's wait a little bit. Let's see what happens. You can see, right, the negativity volume right here. It's been since that peak. Kind of feel bad for the people that hopped in here. Don't know what they were thinking, but that always happens, okay? Always happens. People get caught up on it. But yes, let's see what happens. The biggest news, though, with grayscale is that because they are launching, right, these trusts, all right? Check this out. Because they are launching this is going to force the SEC to start getting that regulatory ball rolling and start getting us some hard lines regarding the rules of crypto trading, all right? The longer the SEC drags their feet, the less and less prepared they look, and the more of a bubble that they are creating, okay? There are, and remember, for all of us that are watching, okay, we like crypto, okay? We do it. That's why we're doing it. That's why I do, the 200 plus videos. That's why you're hopping on a live stream. We like crypto, right? We like blockchain. We enjoy the technology. It's fascinating for us, right? Got to remember, though, there's a bunch of people out there. There's a bunch of countries out there, a bunch of societies that A, no idea what crypto is. B, they know what crypto is. They don't believe in it. C, they don't know what crypto is. They don't believe in it. And D, they could care less, all right? Those four segments, right, of people that don't buy into crypto, until we get more adoption and adaptation of it being a viable finance mechanism, you're still going to see a lot of pushback, okay? You're still not going to see big institutional investors jumping in. You're not going to see hedge funds going crazy, all right? I had an article 3-4 months ago that said by 2025 is when the hedge funds expect to hop in. So again, we know it's coming. That bubble is being built, but we got to still convince more people and expose more people to blockchain technology and the pluses and minuses behind it. All right. Let's see. So Drab says, what about Protocol 18 on November 3rd? I'd like to know more. Okay, cool. So Drab, if you want to know as much as possible, okay, go to Stellar's Twitter account, all right? They have a full upgrade guide blog. I mean, hardcore in depth, all right? Hardcore in depth, okay? So if you're looking at the screen right now, right, twitter.com Stellar org, right? If you go in this one, it is pinned at the top. You cannot miss it. It is a pinned tweet from October 5th. If you go into this right down here, this will tell you everything about automated market makers, clawback protocols. Yeah, clawback protocols, right? We all know how extremely important clawback protocols are. Wallet upgrades, whole bunch of cool things. If you guys are interested in that, definitely read their blog post. All right, so Alex says, I may have missed it, but how much Ripple do you hold compare to Stellar? I don't hold any Ripple purely because the SEC can do whatever they want. Yes. Yeah, you're totally right. And not only can the SEC do what they want, they could fumble and do what they want and screw stuff up, right? In terms of XLM and Ripple, okay? I am XLM. I do have some Ripple, not much. I'm being dead honest with you right now. XLM is a project I believe in. I do have some Bitcoin. I do have some Ethereum. Got some Shiba. Yep, you guys saw that video. I got some Shiba, so doing pretty good with that, by the way. So those are my 5. I would honestly say of the 5, XLM is 90% of my holdings. Like 90% of just my crypto holdings, okay? XLM is 90% of my crypto holdings. Of my portfolio, oh God, I'm going to be real close, but I would say of crypto, if my portfolio, I got to be real close to just around that 20% mark. I just bought a whole bunch more equities this last week, so I'm sure it screwed up my ratio a little bit. So it might be closer to maybe like 18, 17, something like that. But yes, crypto is usually the high risk part of my portfolio. I try to keep it at like a 1 to 4 rate or 1 to 5 ratio there, right? That 20%. Sorry, I'm trying not to sneeze here. Got my nose itching. The dogs. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, sorry about that. So yeah, just around 20% I try to keep crypto. And again, I balance, though, the highly volatile, highly risky crypto with some real boring commodity-based stuff and utility-based equities. So kind of keep that in mind when we're talking about like how we're balancing stuff here. And yeah, how about this? How about you guys also let me know what other tokens and things are you holding right now? I'm big into commodities. I love my commodities, both electronically and physical commodities, and I love equities too. I love the functionality of up-down trading in equities, right? I'm huge into that stuff. That's why I've God, I don't want to pick on it, but I'm going to pick on it. So let's do this. Let's blow this up here. Yeah, MoneyGram, okay? So you guys remember when, you know, Stellar MoneyGram had that little thing and they had that pop of news? Look what's happened from 844 to 692. Yeah. So when we're talking about playing both up and down regarding equities and crypto and so forth, you got to think of these opportunities here, right? Yes, the news of Stellar Lumens popped MoneyGram. But if you knew where MoneyGram's financials were and how they had top line struggles of a 25% loss of top line over the last 4 years, yeah, 25% loss of top line over the last 4 years, and that their net income, I mean, like, come on, lost 60 million in 1 year. Ooh, they lost 8 million. Ooh, awesome. Yeah, they're losing. All right. So that's when I heard and read the news regarding MoneyGram, I looked at this and I said, okay, cool. They're going to have a spike. There's going to be a little pump right here. But the fundamentals of the company sucked. So obviously you know which way I played that one. All right. So we got Esteban chiming in. Oh, Tezos. Cool. Yeah, we got some Tezos people in here. Yeah, there's a lot of coins out there. Again, it is so hard to keep track of all of them. For anyone out there that's close to my age and older, yeah, you'd have to be close to my age and older because legal reasons you couldn't trade at that age, unless your parents set up an account. But if you're about like 40 and older, all right, you remember the .com bubble, right? You remember all of those .com stocks out there, and you remember people just going crazy, right? The eToys of the world starting out at like $6 a share and ending up at like 90-something bucks around Christmas time because people were internet shopping for the first time. Most of the companies, okay, that were around in that .com era just did not survive. They did not. They all rushed into that space because the market was there, the press was there, and the cash was there, right? Private equity groups were starting to build, traction. And so now we're seeing the exact same thing with cryptos, right? Once the crypto boom happened, holy crap, that was it, right? the crypto boom happened, then everyone started making tokens. Everyone started making NFTs. Everyone started making derivatives and layers and so forth. So again, this reminds me very much of the .com era of trading. All right, so Jack chimes in. When Protocol 18 comes into effect, it'll be like the Monsters Inc. when the SWAT team comes in when they call it 2419. Yeah, Jack, one of the things I'm looking for is what actually happens to volume and what actually happens to best executed price. All right. For those of you that buy on Coinbase versus Coinbase Pro versus eToro versus, I mean, you name it, prices are so dramatically different between the two because of the liquidity. Now, that being said, all right, I want you to think of liquidity. Yes, automated market makers are going to help. Is it going to be enough? I do think this is going to hugely get rid of that bid-ask spread, and I think this is dramatically going to help narrow the gap between the different prices you pay between the different platforms out there. Alex chimes in. I'm big into layer 1 DeFi in games. A split between safe and extremely risky. Dude, that's a good way to put it, right? I mean, balance out your risky, balance out your safe, know what time period you can balance both of those out at, right? And know what your goals are. Hey, if your risky one pops 40% and you weren't expecting it, cool, man, you made 40%, rock on, If the tame one, right, is just trudging along, cool, awesome, then the money stays nice and protected. So it's good to have diversity. So yes, Jock, at 45, you remember the .com bubble, all right? I don't know if you were trading at that time. I was 18, 19, 20. I'll put that in quotes. 18, 19, 20, statute of limitations. When the .com bubble happened, yeah, it was nuts, man. I actually had a friend that worked at one of these .com companies out in Cali. Made a ton of money. And got out at the right time because things crumbled right around that holiday season in the .com bubble. That the E section of it just crumbled completely and sucked so much money out of the market. And that's actually why a bunch of people that, if you see, like my age, right, you kind of look at that 40 to 50 age, they stayed way away from stocks. 40 to 55, they stayed away from stocks for a while because they got burned so badly on that .com bubble burst. But yet we've got MoneyGram up on the screen right now. Huge synergy opportunity for Stellar Lumens and the Stellar Lumens investors out there. We've got 16, 17 people hopped on the live stream. If you're hopping in on now, I'm saying hello right to you. How are you doing on this Thursday? If there's anything that you missed, right? If you just hopped on now and you're like, oh crap, what happened in the live stream? Don't worry. The live stream is going to be put in the live stream folder so that you're able to watch this when the live stream ends. The other cool thing that I've done, and please let me know in the comments if I did this correctly. I wanted to set this up so that there were 0 ads. Yes, 0 ads for the live stream. All right. I want the live streams to be about us interacting with each other. I don't want you to worry about ads. I don't want you to worry about clicking on crap like that. I want you to spend time with us, right? Face-to-face time. So let me know, did you see any ads? Do I need to tweak some of the monetization settings anymore? And again, if you're curious about how monetization works, hop on the creator live stream, right? Hop on the creator live stream. Again, if you see Pimpin' Peter Griffin, who I should NFT, if you see Pimpin' Peter, we're talking live stream. We're talking creator content, behind the scenes stuff. Really, really neat stuff. We got a couple more people here. We've got 45. We got Grizzle Lang chiming in. You're right. We got One Cruz Perez saying hello. And we got large up to the 40 plus crew. Yes, man. What is up to everyone? So while we have Stellar here, let us just refresh the old thing. See if we've missed anything right here. Looks a little sideways, right? This kind of looks a little sideways. Last little chunk here. We're not going crazy up on the candlesticks right now because I do not want to go into any crazy functionality because I have seen that people get lost on that and they don't like that kind of stuff. But hey, might do that in the future. So let's talk about Stellar. Let's talk about opportunities out there. Again, if you are just jumping in, okay, Stellar market, the big difference between Stellar and Ripple is this. Ripple, B2B, big institutional usage. Stellar, Lumens XLM, peer-to-peer money usage, okay? Why is this so big? It's because of this paragraph right here. Bank estimates that 529 billion and 689 billion was sent in remittances in 2018. That is roughly $1.2 trillion in the remittance market, of which 10% goes to companies like MoneyGram and so forth. So the real opportunity for Stellar is tapping into this $1.2 trillion remittance market, all right? So that's why when I'm filming these videos, that's why the excitement is real. That's why the excitement I'm having right now is real. Because yes, the project's small now, right? We're in the penny category still, okay? We're not mooning it, you know, nothing like that. But where else have you seen ground being laid like this with such heavy infrastructure? Where have you seen a business model build so far ahead in terms of liquidity pools, clawback protocol before the SEC is even asking for it, automated market makers, Lumen Swap, right? Working with AirTM, MoneyGram, Visa, Tala. Where else have you seen any other crypto project out there take on so many positive things like this? Right? I haven't seen it. And I've been covering crypto for a good chunk of time now. Real heavy in depth, and I haven't seen it like this. So for me, this is why I'm bullish. Because when I hop on to the news cycles, right, and I look at my independent news sources, look at all the Stellar news articles. Stellar's 40 million investment with Tala. Stellar soars 8%. Stellar Lumens, right? Entry point. I mean, there's so much out there regarding Stellar Lumens. Let me take another real quick drink here. There is so much out there with Stellar Lumens in terms of news and a business foundation that all they have to do is wait their competition out. I know that sounds crazy, but in a market like this where there is so much liquidity, right? Fiat-based liquidity in the markets. All they have to do is outweigh all this cash flow crap, and they should be in the clear. Oh, and yeah, Alex hopping in also with Cardano. I'm not a Cardano guy. I do have a couple friends that are really, really heavy into it. I mean, as heavy into it as I am into XLM. So yes, I kind of do hear all their Cardano stuff. So no, really cool that you're chiming in on that. If you're just joining in, say hello, drop a chat in the message box. Let me know where you're from. Let me know how you are enjoying the content. And what do you think of the background, right? What do you guys think of the color on the background? We can change it up on the fly, which is really nice. If I had my app open, I would change it up. But yeah, we could change it up. We can do all sorts of different things with the colors and so forth. Really, really neat setting. This is not green screen. This is actual lighting that I have been messed with because, again, I can change colors on it. So if it was green screen, I would not be able to, functionality-wise, change colors on it. I got to find a really cool color that I like, but we'll leave it at that. So, yeah, that's what we got going on. The channel has been growing. Stellar Lumens itself has been growing. And one of the other big things that I want to look up right now, and let's see if I can do this live, all right? So let's go to Coinbase, all right? And when I want to go into Coinbase right now, I want to go in here and I want to find prices, okay? And we'll see if you guys kind of pick up what I'm putting down here, all right? So let's go to XLM if this works. Come on, come on. Come on, let's go. We might have to delay this one because, oh, here we go. Okay, so let's look at Stellar Lumens real quick here. All right, this is important, okay? And this is what I want everyone to look at. The typical hold time of Stellar Lumens XLM is growing. Yes, okay. Up to, okay, about a month and a half ago, the hold time was right around like 16 days, all right? So what we're seeing right now is the Stellar Lumens investors, right? Those of us that are watching the channel, those of us that invest, the Stellar Lumens investors now have almost doubled their holding time, all right? When they double the holding time, liquidity becomes a problem. Ironically, yes, Protocol 18 automated market makers will help this, okay? What's really weird, though, is the typical hold time is increasing, and yet the price is decreasing. That inverse functionality is why I believe in this pressure cooker deal, okay? I believe in it because a lot of the metrics, right? A lot of these, what I like to call like hard stats, are telling us that it should be going this way, not the direction it is going right now. Alex jumps in saying, I think there's still a large potential for multiple players in the space to do well when technology is this new. It makes sense for large businesses to use multiple technologies for redundancy. Yes, you're totally right. The problem is, though, Alex, and I'm 100% with you, because there's a lot of really good utility tokens. There's a lot of really good peer-to-peer utility tokens, especially ones that are run on the Stellar chain, right? Stellar chain. I mean, like, I don't work for Stellar, but I mean, like, if they wanted to sponsor the channel, I would not be opposed to it. So Stellar, if you're listening out there, I would sponsor the channel. I mean, I speak pretty highly of Stellar. But no, what I'm worried about, though, is, and this is what happened in the .com bubble, all right? And Alex, I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you're in that same 40 age range. I know Jock is in that age range just like me. People were investing in the .com era into anything that ended in .com. It could be, I'm going bankrupt to all hell right now .com, and people would have invested in it, right? Or I sell sand in the desert.com, and people would have invested in it. It was really, really bad in that .com. And you got to remember, too, that's when, like, the internet with E-Trade and all that stuff was just starting to really pick up speed, where you could trade online quicker. So it was a really, really messy time. So what scares me now is, okay, so Alex, you're 34. So you're just a few years where you missed that .com. So you missed it by about, like, 6 years or so. But what happens, though, is the same thing is happening on crypto. People are investing in crypto, no idea what it is, right? They see a meme and they throw some money at it. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a high-risk thing. If you understand your risk analysis, throw money wherever the hell you want. I don't care. But it's the idea that how many people, though, are investing in things and tokens they don't know anything about. Or how about the tokens that are being invested in that are dead projects, that have no new development? Right? They've been dormant for 3, 4, 5 months. Okay. Or people that hopped on and built new tokens with similar names, or all the people that spent the money on the NFTs. I think there were just so many people out there that got caught up in it. They didn't really know what they were investing in. And so for me, I really do see this replication of the .com era. The scary thing is, I think we might have more people invested now than in the .com era. So just kind of something to throw out there for you guys. The government may even require banks to have redundancies in their technology. I can tell you this. ACH is going to go to the wayside. ACH is going to be done. It's all going to come down to the SEC just has to get off their butt, and the SEC has to go through with crypto regulation, top to bottom, start to finish. Okay, they have to do it. It's holding up so many things. It is holding up so much stuff. What does this tell you, all right? So we just heard over the weekend that the SEC, right, is going to allow the futures ETF. It didn't take more than a couple days for this Grayscale trust to pop in. People have been building these programs, investing programs in the background, waiting, salivating, waiting just to drop the hammer and release these things. So yes, the SEC is for sure holding up the boom of crypto. My personal feeling, and again, this is just personal feeling, I honestly feel like the reason they hold up crypto is because it would pull so much more money out of the equity market. And right now, right, for the United States, for a lot of economies, our stock market is what, right, shows how good we are. We all know that's a bunch of crap, okay? Wall Street versus Main Street's totally two different demons. The stock market is big business, big money. That's how it is. It's not a real representation of the economy. But we all know we would take money and we would put it into crypto out of equities, all right? So I want you to think about that, okay? Once they open up the SEC regulation for crypto, I could easily see more money being pulled out of the equities market and dumped into crypto. So we got 19 people on the live stream right now. What are y'all thinking in the background? I'm loving the colors. I'm loving the vibe. My wife keeps calling me, but like I'm live streaming right now, so I'm trying to give you guys the undivided attention. So she's gonna be like, well, why didn't you answer me? Well, dude, I was live streaming, man. I told you about it. But yeah, we got 22 people hopping on now. If you have a question, you have a comment, you just want to say hi, hit us up in the chat box right now. There should be no commercials in this live stream. It should just be us interacting and hanging out with each other. So for anyone that just hopped on, please do me a favor, go to the community tab, check out the post. How often should I post videos? Give me some feedback regarding the channel. I had some really good feedback earlier on sound quality, and it was really funny. And dude was like, dude, your sound was like jacked up. I had my old microphone turned on. Yeah, I had my old crap microphone turned on. So the sound for the second live stream should be much, much better and creamier than the first live stream. So for those that watched the first live stream, I'm sorry about that. And hopefully this makes up for it. But yeah, so please leave me some feedback. Chase and Zards in the house. Hey, Chase and Zards, you're going to love this, man. You're going to love this. Bob and I are working on a brand new Pokemon video. We should be done filming it tonight into tomorrow. I am not going to tell you anything about it, but I will tell you this. The Pokemon video that Bob and I are doing, Chasing Zards, is going to be way different than anything else you have seen, period, regarding a Pokemon pack break. I guarantee you. I can totally guarantee it. We have been working on this for a while. We've done storyboard revisions. I've done some cinematography kind of frame outs and so forth. We're putting a lot of effort in this one. I think you are going to like it. Oh, we got Kristen Bauman, Chicago in the house. Yes, Chicago in the house. Hey, Kristen, how are you doing? Glad you could hop on and join us. But yes, Chasing Zards and anyone else out there, yes, Bob and I are going to drop some juicy Pokemon content, some really, really juicy Pokemon content. We've got something really new. We've been working on it. We've been working on some editing tricks. So I think you're going to like it. It's a little on the trippy side. It's got a little, I don't say anymore. Okay, I won't say anymore. Like I said, if I try, I'll try to get it done tonight. It's gonna be really hard because we're still filming tonight. We have to wait for the lights to go down. The light, our walls are really, really nice, shiny gloss paint, so it reflects a lot of bad light when we try to shoot stuff. So we're just waiting for the lights to go down, and then we'll have perfect lighting to shoot the scene. So we got, and dude, I don't want to say your name right, Taudidus Palopa. Any news MoneyGram deal? Okay. I'm glad you hopped on now. We were just talking about MoneyGram, and we'll go right back into it, and we'll talk about the opportunities with MoneyGram. Right now, in terms of a stock, okay, I'm talking about a stock right now. Right now, in terms of MoneyGram as a stock, MoneyGram as a company is in deep, deep trouble, all right? If you look at MoneyGram's financials, their revenue has gone down by 25% over the last 4 years. Their margins still suck and are in the negatives. Yes, they lose money every year. They suck. Wait, how does this sound? This should be MoneyGram's commercial. We're a company that takes money from you because we don't have enough money of our own. Yep, that's right, because MoneyGram loses money. Yep. So MoneyGram, yep, the news with MoneyGram has been that they're working on synergy. The synergy, and again, I'm assuming this is how the synergy is going to play out. I'm assuming the synergy is based upon being able to install Stellar wallets in brick and mortar MoneyGram locations and to use the Stellar chain for sending money peer-to-peer rather than using your traditional ACH systems that MoneyGram uses, okay? If any of you have used MoneyGram out there, okay, MoneyGram charges anywhere from 7, and not just MoneyGram, any money transfer services. So MoneyGram, Money Transfer, Green Tree, I mean, all those, okay? They charge anywhere from 7 to 14%. So I've been using 10% as just a very nice even number. Okay, I just took the average. It's not really the real average, but close enough, right? They charge 10% in fees to send money. Okay, so how much money is that? If you look at this chart right here, 10% from 83 billion is 8.3 billion. So that's how much India alone pays to these money transfer facilities for remittances. So when it comes to the MoneyGram deal, when it comes to Stellar, what we're looking for is two things. We need Stellar and MoneyGram to announce what their actual roadmap plans are. And that's got to be coming out soon. It's got to be. The last quarter of the year is very big in remittances. All right. I want you to think about that for people that use remittances to get by in life. The last quarter of the year is huge. Holidays, right? Food, weather changes, really, really, really big in those cash-based societies. But we do. First things first, we need to see what is the roadmap looking like for Stellar and MoneyGram, right? How is this partnership working together with each other? The other thing we need to see is how is this going to be developed in terms of getting the word out to people, all right? Because think about this, okay? So Stellar hops in on MoneyGram, awesome. Stellar's in good shape. MoneyGram sucks, as you can see, right? They've had some problems. I've got it on the screen. So whether it's them with a declining revenue, which is in the blue bars, or their stock price just tumbling like a rock down a hill. That was a crappy analogy. I'm sorry about that. But like their price tumbling, MoneyGram's in trouble. So unless they turn the MoneyGram ship around, I just don't want Stellar to get pulled down with that. Okay, that is my only concern on the Stellar MoneyGram news, is that if they don't right the ship correctly, can the problems with MoneyGram pull down Stellar? All right, that's kind of what I'm wondering right now. So any other questions, if you guys got out there, hit them up in the comments section of the chat. We got 19 people now watching. Yep, 19 people. These live streams are turning into be a fun, popular thing. Hey, let me know in the comments if I should do them more often, what time of day. I'm trying to pick times of day where I know people can hop in. I've been using some of the background metrics and dashboard analytics to make sure that I schedule live streams when I have the most viewers possible watching. So for all of you that have hopped on now, don't worry. If you missed anything in this live stream, it will be dropped in the live stream playlist, all right? But I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to shut it down now. I think we're going to end the live stream. I know, it's you guys say, well, why are you ending? Why are you ending the live stream? Well, we're at an hour and 16 minutes. This is the second one I've done today, so I'll be close to about 2.5 hours worth of live stream, plus some really fun cinematography. But yeah, I think we're going to end the live stream now. I'm going to tease you guys with, hey, if you want to do this again, hit me up in the comments, leave likes, leave whatever you guys want. I'm totally cool with it. But yeah, let's do that. Klaus, Family Hobbies and Cards, if you enjoyed this live stream, we're going to do more of them. So don't worry about it. You'll get your chance. If you missed any part of this live stream, don't worry. I will have the full live stream loaded in the live stream playlist. So Klaus, Family Hobbies and Cards, I hope you enjoy the background. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And unlike the rest of my videos, nope, there are no descriptions down below. All right, guys, have a good day.